Okay, pardon the echo, but I'm in a room that it's an office, but it has fridge doors and none of the windows are open and just echoes. I've used this before. I don't know why, so, but it does now. But anyway, I wanted to talk about something that happened yesterday. Today it's almost the middle of June, and I had a package delivered yesterday. That it was for clothing. I don't usually order clothing, and I have before from different places, and I think this is one of them. And yeah, it's something like clothing, but it came in yesterday. All of these, I wanted to try T-shirts again. I haven't really worn T-shirts in a long time. You know, one here and one there, but I'm not a T-shirt wearer. But I wanted to try those because I thought about I would do this one kind of job. I actually thought to try to get health insurance that I would try doing, you know, these delivery services. If you deliver somebody's food from a restaurant or something. I like to watch those delivery gig workers. I thought if I have to have a job in order to get health insurance, not through the job, but yeah, long story there, that I would you have to earn a certain amount, and the only thing I could do is to work around to where I could work a couple of hours, you know, my own schedule, like a couple of hours and go home. This is my health condition. Oh, what a mess. But so I thought, you know, I probably would need something like some cool T-shirts, you know, and so I just wanted to try to get some, just in case. And so this stuff came in yesterday. They weren't all T-shirts. It was, and well, two of them were. One was both of them were supposed to be khakis, and they're two different places from two different places. And I don't know who they would be like before. Who are they for? The size is not, and that's happened to me before. And yeah, I think that was it from them. And I said I'd never order clothes from them again. Oh my goodness! But the biggest thing is this one is kind of scary. Okay, what happened yesterday? So I basically will wash anything before I wear it. You know, I don't care if I buy it in the store, especially if I buy it in the store, but I always do anyway for all of them, delivered or bought it in the store. I just, yeah. And so I washed these things, and so I washed all this stuff together. It was okay to wash all of them together, and I took them out, you know, put them in the dryer. And the last one I picked out was a T-shirt that was. It actually turns out it was for Thanksgiving, and but it was, yeah, you know, something I thought was cute, and it stunk. Now I should back up here. Okay, now I'm saying that this is the problem. This smell. To back up some. For months now, okay, I'm doing this on purpose, going back. For months now, I have been complaining about stuff that I have ordered. Well, actually, I better not say ordered. The first time was an order, a grocery order. And I had it delivered, I don't even know how many months ago this was, but I had it delivered, and it was leave at door. You know, they just leave it outside the door. I don't have to see them. They don't have to see me. And I just have that like that since 2020, you know, and marked like that. So the guy, it was a guy, that's what it said, it was a guy, his name, left it at the door. You know, I heard him, I opened up the door and I went, whoa, he must have been wearing some strong cologne. Adam was gone at the time, and I'm just, you know, wow. And I'm tall, I'm standing up, I'm not bending down to pick it up, I'm standing up. That's how, and he had left it on the ground, that's how strong it was. It was very strong, I could smell it. You know, all was as tall as I am. So I was just kind of put him, you know, took him and put him in the door, and then I was, you know, just shut the door, you know, get him so my dogs don't try to get out or something. And then when I went to take him to the kitchen, I could, you know, smell that it was on the product and everything. Even one of them was a box of donuts, just in a cart, you know, the regular box of donuts like you buy. And there's so many kinds, but yeah. And everything stunk, and it just had this strong odor. Well, that was the same strong odor that was on that t-shirt. This is freaky. Now, seriously, I mean, that's freaky. And just, by the way, reported it to them. Finally, after a whole bunch of mess, I finally got a human, and he was saying, well, we have to ask you, these questions. And I know they do, because I went through the one that was, you ask online, trying to get somebody, and this one I finally found their phone number and called them. And then that was a mess, of course. When is it ever not? But, he was trying to say, I said, no, I'm just calling, just like I did that, you know, since then, to tell people, you have this odor on stuff. Okay, I'm not the only one smell it. Adam did, and he was like, whoa, you know. Every time, you know, almost every time, I'll say, you know, smell it. He says, yeah, man, it's bad. Okay, now, to fast forward a little bit, that was, you know, months ago, then all during, since then, no matter where I go, no matter what chain store, no matter what city around here, town, whatever, I go to buy groceries, there will be that odor on at least one product. Okay, the other ones, no. But those products, that thing, I think it was because they were on, well, there was the box of donuts was separate, was not in a bag with other stuff. But all the other bags, all of it, I had to throw all of it away. That place gave me a refund, because it was the first time. And I complained. I didn't ask, you know, after that, I didn't ask the places. I just said, I want to inform you that there is an odor. I'm not looking for a refund or anything like that. I'm informing you. You know, this is a big difference. I'm informing you these things smell. They have odors. And it just, and sometimes it doesn't. That's the weirdest thing. Like I just said, one product, and there will be at least one product that has that odor. And the rest of them might not. So, okay, I just confirmed that I'm not ever going to be able to do, maybe never able to do just those live streams, because this kind of stuff is bothering me to make the video and then put it up. After all these years, my original channel, it'll be 9 years in August of 2023 this year. But anyway, to get back to this, okay. I know that's a lot of information, but there was so much, this is months of things going on. That's a long time. Lots of different, I go to this store, there are lots of different things. I go to this store, go to the other store, go to this one. I report things, they you know, are like, right, you know. I don't smell anything. And that seems to be the mantra. And not just this. I've done videos about this, but I put them on different channels. I'm trying to, you know, focus on one channel now. But the mantra for anything, like if you work a job, you know, if I worked a job, I have that habit of saying you know, the universal you, which doesn't mean you. But I've worked at jobs, and it's a must. You must report if something happens. Okay, if this happens or that happens, you must report it. I think many people may have, if you've lived as long as I, 60 years. There's a, you know, if you work jobs like I did, I was a career student, and I worked other temporary or seasonal jobs and such like that during all that time. And I even taught at college and university, and I also would work sometimes different kinds of jobs on the side of it. You know, I was one of those. And anyway, but it was like, on this job, you must report if XYZ happens. That job, you must report if ABC happens. And whenever I would report those, because you have to, or you could be fined and or imprisoned if you don't, seriously. Whenever I would call back to say, well, what was the result? Or they would send me a result in the mail. That actually has happened. You know, I'm talking over many years now. And whatever it was, and I would find the result. It would always be, I'm serious, no matter which department. These are not the same places, or you know, the people that I would report it to, or anything like that. They were not connected, and the result would be the same. We didn't see it when we went out there. It was whatever would, you know, that's basically the gist of it. We didn't see it when we went out there, when we checked it, when we did not see it, or I, you know, they use I. And I'm like, all those, I know that the response is going to be that. I didn't see it when I was out there. Now, recently, after all these years, I thought about it in a different way. Was maybe that's what they have to say. Maybe that's not the truth, but they have to say that. Because maybe they'll be under investigation or something. One could hope. One could hope that it's just not people not doing their jobs when it's something serious. I can't see that, but it always puzzled me. Why was the answer always the same? It was fit for that situation, that place. But the result, basically, like I said, that's the gist of it, is I didn't see it when I went out there. Okay, wow. I mean, so many different places. This is the answer always. Whatever fit that situation was always basically the same. Man. But so I have to think that it must be that they have to say that, because they can't tell the person the truth for, you know, because of their investigation or whatever. You see? So, okay. So I know, I am one that has been told and understands a lot of them. I'm not on the law side of it, in any form, criminal justice, any of that. I'm a sociologist. I'm looking at this through those lens. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. So I'm still wowed by all this, seriously. So anyway, to get back to kind of the timeline, the kind of thing, you know, all those months, all those times, I reported them, or reported to a manager there. Like one of them I called and I said, it was after the first one, the one that was delivered, I went and bought my groceries because I had to throw all that out. It stunk bad. I threw everything out. I mean, whether it was groceries or not, I threw all of it in the trash. Adam was like, "You sure you want to throw this?" I said, "All of it." Because it was a strong odor. And Adam was saying it kind of smells like this cologne. And I mean, I'm talking months. We went through what could it have been. Because the next one was I went and bought them, the grocery, at that store. And got home. And I don't know why, not until we get home, but it's in the back of the SUV. You know, I put them in there. And I'm not sitting right there smelling it. And get it home. I'm thinking, oh, it was just the guy. Because my original thought was the guy had a cologne on. You see? That he was wearing a real strong cologne, or he sprayed it in his car. You know, his whatever he was driving that he would be delivering it from. You know, something like that. And when I called and reported it to the manager, because the 800 number that they refunded me said, well, you need to call, you know, the manager. I don't work for them. But I called, you know, because I wanted to complain. You know, you need to do something about this delivery, you know, person, because they're putting this odor on my groceries, you know, that kind of complaint. Now, I don't know why their 800 number couldn't do it, but it is a place that, yeah, they kind of let the customer do the job. Anyway, sarcasm, yes. So, okay, so I might not have a visual effect on all of these. Oh my goodness. But this is why I can't do live stream. I'm gonna cough again. But let me get something to drink maybe. Anyway, so I went and bought the groceries from that store. Got home, they stunk. They had the same stench on them. Seriously, stunk. And The same odor, the same smell, the same scent. Well, it's not a scent, it's an odor. Okay? I'm getting hit with allergy attack. Wow. But, anyway, and I can't remember exactly when, because I was thinking that the delivery one was last year, and then the time I went and got them myself was this year. Maybe I'm all messed up. Seriously. Or maybe it was that I had, messed up with the timeline when things happened, because I used to order delivery, and it may have been months or sometime last year that I had ordered the last time. But whatever it is, I went and bought, the next time, went and bought the groceries myself. And it was just, to me, it was unbelievable. And so my thought was, it must be the cashier had rung up the first groceries, is the same cashier, the guy that I was physically in the store, and he rang up. He didn't wear any gloves. Went through all that, thinking about that. I even went through, I'm just going to say, I went through so many things thinking it could be this or it could be that. And Adam did too, said, well, maybe this, or, and even questioned myself if it was me, if it were me, somehow, maybe the soap I used to wash my hands. Well, I'll tell you, this soap, and this thing, whenever I would touch it, and it got on my hands, of course it's going to be on my hands, because a lot of it is where I would pick up the grocery, like if it was a bag, like in a plastic thing, the top part of it, like you get it off of a shelf or something, and you touch the top part to put it in your cart. That odor, everything is the same odor. It would get on my hands, and I have to wash my hands several times, and it's a faint smell there. At first, it's a strong one, but several times, and it's still on there. That's what happened yesterday too, by the way. And it's an awful. It's not. I had said before, rancid kind of thing, but no, it's just a chemical smell that shouldn't be there. Period. And it's just, ugh, yeah. Okay, I don't know why I keep coughing. Anytime I do a video, I'll have an allergy attack. Seriously. It's like once I start speaking, it's going to get worse. It's going to happen. But anyway, to get back to this. So, after that, I went to a different store. And then it just kept going. Different store, different store, different store. Different, location of that store. But also different location of other chain stores. I'm pointing that out. Other chain stores. So it's not the same name store, just a different location. It is that, but it's also different ones in my area. And I think I pretty much hit on every one of them. Seriously. And every one of them, at least one item would have that odor on it. Like I said, not all of them, but there was one time I just went and bought 3 items just to test it out, and it is that I can't smell it when I'm in the store because there's so many other things, and plus I'm not gonna put my nose that close to it in the store. I buy the product, and one of them I went out to the parking lot, and I smelled them, and it was 3 items. 2 of them had that odor on them. One was actually a head of lettuce that was in a ball, not a ball. It was in a plastic, and it was the iceberg. That's why I'm thinking ball. but yeah, wrapped. It was on that. Okay. I've been in stores that I walk in, and I smell it from the moment I walk in. Adam smelled it. He's gone in the store. He's not usually one who notices this kind of stuff either. He smokes. And he just doesn't tend to notice odors like I do. Now, I used to smoke, but I quit back in September. And you can bet I try to say, well, maybe it's me. Maybe because I quit smoking. Well, he smells it too. Like I just said, he smokes. He didn't quit. But even if that were the case, it still has to be on there for me to smell it. So that would mean that it's always been on there. You see? Possibly, but I don't think that that's the case. I really don't. All these years, he and I, neither one of us, I've been buying groceries since I was 18 and I'm 60. And I was helping my mom buy groceries before then, so Never, ever have we ever had this happen to us, Adam and I. Never. You know, and I've been buying groceries for he and I since I was 18. So, what is this something new? I mean, you would think we would smell something in all these years. And so anyway, like I said, all these different stores. One of them I actually bought a bag. You know, those plastic bags that you can buy from them. And this one had a ziplock kind of thing. You know, that's a brand, but it was just a zip thing on the top of it. And it didn't smell when I was standing there. And then when I put it in there, when I got home and opened the bag, the whole of it smelled. You know, what I had put in that bag. And that we have actually smelled it on the plastic bags from the store. Everything that we've smelled, and usually it seems like it had always seemed like it was something that it had been shelved on a shelf. I mean, of course it's shelved on a shelf, but the kind that would have air blowing to keep them cool. But no, it's anything. And then, like I said, yesterday happened. It's on one of the shirts out of all the stuff I bought. I think it was 3 other shirts and some, what are they called? 2 of them, like I said, the capris, and then there was these, well, what are they called? For knees, you know, padded. Yeah, whatever. And I bought one of those. But it was on nothing but, you know, everything was individually wrapped and from different places, as it was. That one shirt that was rolled up in a ball, stunk, you know, the perfume, and then washed it, and it was that odor. Okay, what the crap is this? You know, that led to me feeling this is pretty freaky. I mean, all of it was pretty freaky. Like I said, in all my years, I have never smelled this smell before, smelled this odor before, until all of this started happening with the groceries. And yesterday, Adam and I had gone and bought groceries, and I had just put up a video, or maybe I just now did. I made a video that's saying, oh, it's getting better, I'm not smelling it so much anymore. Wrong. Because the last time I went before yesterday, I bought a product from one of those shelves, and previously it had smelled, had an odor. This time it didn't. That time. But then yesterday we went back, some of the stuff we bought had that odor. And I was remarking how, like, washing it doesn't wash it off, the product. Plus, you have to wonder, is that stuff seeping through, you know, and getting on the actual product? And I have a feeling that maybe it is. Yeah, well, I have more than a feeling, because some of them I try to wash it, and then it was in plastic on a piece of cardboard, then plastic covering that, and I washed it, but it got inside that, took it out, and it was on the smell was inside too. Imagine this. It was on the lid of these different individual products, 12 of them I think it has, and they have lids. Yikes. And then other stuff I bought yesterday, it was just like, this is terrible. I mean, when you can't trust your food, and like I said, I have reported these things to managers, and in person and over the phone, in person, had them said, hey, smell this. Well, I said, don't smell the side I did, of course. But then I thought, I got sick with the first time ever. Well, I wasn't telling them, you know, stick it all the way up your nose, but I was saying, you know, can you smell this? And, you know, like that. As in, do you actually smell the odor? Well, 2 of them brought him back, you know, put him somewhere else or whatever. But I actually got, what is it? Stomach virus. Never had it before in my life. Ever. Thought I was dying. I'm serious. Never, that I know, ever had it. Maybe when I was really young and too long ago to remember. But so I don't really sniff that stuff that close. But well, I mean, when you can actually smell it, it's kind of like it's radiating. You know, the odor, of course, you know, it's just like, it's getting worse. This shirt yesterday, this was horrible. You know, the whole washing it several times and then washing it with this something. Right now it's on the patio with all the other stuff we're going to have to throw away. Adam said, well, maybe the sun will kill it, and, you know, all this stuff would... Right, it's all going to have to be thrown away, towels, everything. And I hung those shirts up that came along with it, and all that. I think I'm just going to have to throw them away, you know, because they don't smell. That was the weird thing. They didn't smell like that. But I hung them in the closet, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to mix those with my clothes that are already clean and have everything smell. It's awful. It's seriously awful. Okay, I went and actually moved those clothes, and I went and put some laundry on while I was thinking about it. And there's no place to put them. It was 3 shirts. Anyway, and then the other 2 I'd already moved to somewhere else anyway, because they're not my size, and it's supposed to be. But anyway, I do want to say, my brain is having a hard time accepting this. Now, I am a sociologist, and it's because of my degree, social psychologist. I read this all years ago. I was a career student over 20 years, taught at college and university, and I am well aware of the problems that the world has. I'm well aware of that. When some people, you know, had made conspiracy theories, or the conspiracy theorists, and that some of the stuff actually turned out to be right. I'm well aware of that. But I don't want to think in those terms of this is a conspiracy, you see. I just think that it's something that, I don't know. I mean, I have my guess. And now with what happened yesterday, you know, of course, I'm like, yeah, you know, that's very odd that it was on clothing that I ordered, not at a store, but I ordered through the mail. Okay? So it wasn't something I actually went and bought, physically bought somewhere, or had purchased for me and delivered. So, but there were other things about this. I don't want to make this way too long. I thought about dividing it into 2. But Adam has this thing about, he just recently told me with all this happening, he says what he can't stand is when he goes into a store, and it is pretty gross when you think about it. He says you go to the store and you're traveling somewhere, like he would be going to work and he wanted to stop and he got him a soda or something, you know, in a plastic, you know, not a soda from a machine, in other words. And, you know, a bottle of soda or whatever. They're not bottles or plastic, but he said when he'd go to check them out, you know, to have the cashier ring them up, the guys would always grab them from the top. They put their hands all the way on the I think you call it the neck. I think it's what it's called on a bottle, you know, on a plastic bottle, a plastic bottle. But they would grab it like that, and he said it just so disgusted him. And I finally figured out why it was disgusting. I mean, no, it didn't take long. I mean, like a split second or so. But yeah, I mean, I delved deeper and I said, yeah, this was so gross. So instead of them picking it from the side, he said they pick it up with their whole hand on it. You know, the palm of their hand on the lid. He said, and all around it, where the way they would do it, he said that's where your mouth would be. You know, when you drink it, out of a little bitty bottle, not a 2-liter, but a little bottle. And so yeah, you know, it is gross. And I had mentioned this about the cashier that I saw was not wearing plastic, you know, plastic gloves. Okay, so, yeah, that time, the first time. Okay, and none of them ever since. But anyway, I complained to that manager over the phone. Well, yesterday when Adam and I went to buy groceries, there were only two lanes open. At first there was only one. But they both were wearing, the cashiers were both males, and they were both wearing plastic gloves. And I asked Adam later on, I said, you know, because I'd forgotten about it, and then I said, did you notice that? He said, oh, I noticed that. Because he has this thing against that. And of course I do. Once he mentioned it, I said, yeah, you're right, it's gross. You know, to think that. But to think about the people who are doing this, you know, putting them on the shelves, the delivery people, all that, whatever. And when you really start to think about how many people have touched your groceries, you know, ugh, it's just disgusting. You know, especially like something like that you would be drinking from. Oh, man. But there was so much more to this, too. Okay, and you know, like I said, we try to find every way to blame ourselves, too. Well, we weren't really trying to blame ourselves. We were trying to find, you know, to give all the possible that we could think of, you know, variations of what could have happened. And but it would always go right back to me saying this. But neither one of us, you know, neither one of us had touched any of that before the guy delivered it. Okay, the very first thing was delivery. They bought it, they shopped it, the store, whatever, whomever, rang it up, delivered it, all that. It was sitting outside, and I go, whoo, that guy had on a lot of cologne. And it was a smelly cologne. But it turned out it was that odor. The same odor on that shirt, and it's still on that shirt. I could not wash it out of that shirt. Or those towels. Like I said, 3 times, come on. That's pretty smelly. And I have chemical allergies. So I don't, what I wash my laundry with is free and clear. They usually call everything free and clear. They're free of fragrance and dyes and all this kind of stuff. And clear of dyes or whatever, however they put it. And so it doesn't have that kind of strong odor, nothing. But I did have a little bit of, I think it's Tide. No, it's Gain. Yeah, I think. I've had that for a while. And I just to try to help it, maybe loosen it from that stuff. I put a little bit of that in there. Nope, didn't work. Then I washed it with just the one that's free and clear. Nope, didn't touch it. Did not rid it. Okay, that's bad. I mean, something that strong. But like I said, when it's on my hands, I can't get it off. Yesterday, it was on my hands. Wash it, it still stinks. Wash it, still stinks. And I had to change my shirt. Well, I didn't have my shirt on any of these products, but the stench gets on. The stench is like in different places. You know, yesterday after, you know, we brought the groceries in, you can smell them. So this is so sick. So what's going on? What could it be? You know, I said I have my views on what could it be, but I don't know now. Okay, I really don't know. But I definitely have eliminated me being and him being. Some people say, well, you use the same soap. But like I said, we've tried all that. We've tried internalizing it, externalizing it, every thought possible of what it could be. I only have one. I don't know that that's for a fact. I have reported it to the correct places, got that whole thing. We didn't smell it when we went out there. We ran a test. They're up for inspection anyway, or whatever was the response, and it's the same. I mean, the what they say. I had started mentioning that I had called another place when it first happened the first time, and the guy said, "Oh, we take things like that very seriously, and we do an investigation." Well, I've reported things to each place, you know, this place, that place, the other place, this, you know, it's the actual store managers and everything, and it still exists. But I really did think that it was going on, that, you know, they got a handle on it or something. And like some of the store managers said, well, maybe it's just something we clean with. Okay, if you're cleaning with a product that smells that bad, and it actually gets on the products that are right there above it. And there was a floor guy, he was around my age, he had said the same thing that same day. And I said, and you're doing that, do you think it's safe? He said, would you think it's safe? Seriously. If what's on there cleaning under, and the guy even showed me where they would clean on the bottom of it, you know, that's near the floor, and they would clean the floors with the same kind of stuff or whatever. that stuff goes all the way up to those shelving and gets on a product. Really? You don't think it's getting in the product? You don't think there's some problem with that happening? I mean, come on, let's use our brains here. Do we have any? I mean, I'm very highly analytical. I have a genius IQ. So, yeah. I mean, I can figure this out, of course, that this is not a good thing. I cannot imagine. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a voice of authority on it. I just cannot imagine it being a good thing that some stinky smells, odors, are getting on products that, yeah. Or is that how it's happening? Or they're just guessing? Really? I'm sitting here, I'm having a pain I've been having for, I don't know how long, but right in my stomach, you know, right near my navel, which is where I'm having these health problems. I've always said it, we're adults. It's a fair warning, it's gross. We're adults. If you're watching this, you are an adult. Okay, and, but I, for whatever reason, have blood coming out of my navel. Yeah, that's a thing. That's when I went to the ER 3 times in the past month or so. And it's been hurting. And they don't know what it is. It's been hurting from before that for over a month now or so. And now I'm having this shooting pains. It happens every once in a while. I told them that it happens, but they did 2 CTs. The first time they did a CT, the last time they did a CT. And the last time they said, there's nothing there now. Okay, there's no abscess or anything that would be bleeding. I said, then why is it? Okay, I don't know. Wow, they're so smart in those ERs. That ER, everyone's at different people each time. Yeah. And running the whole of double talk and just crickets and I know I'm not the only person, by the way. Yeah. But anyway, okay, I think I've said enough on this for right now. But I'm sure I'm going to probably remember some things that I wanted to mention. You know, I've been doing, like I said, videos. I have other channels that I had used for different purposes while I was making so many videos on it to just get it out. I mean, keeping this stuff weighing on my mind when I'm having all these other issues or other things were going on. Because there were more other not related things, not related to this. It was just like a crazy, this year, crunch of things. Like, whoa, this is too much. Really, weird things. And I've been making videos and I put different channels that I just didn't have time to do what I had for those channels. And so I'm trying to now put them all on one, and hopefully it won't be so crazy, so much, but I'm going to go over some of those. I'm serious. I'm sitting here and these pains are shooting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's always something. Hopefully this stuff will stop, because this is a lot for one person to handle. It's not just one person. Adam's, you know, he's here and he's experiencing those kinds of things too. You know, going to the grocery, had started that one too, talking about Adam was in a store one time. I was walking, had gone to a different aisle, and he was standing at one of those kind of shelves, and he walked up. I was coming around the corner, and I saw him and heard him. He walked up and goes, "Whoa!" You know, the stench of this odor hit him that hard. Adam's usually not a person who, any of that. Like I said, he smokes. He doesn't notice. Okay? He just doesn't tend to notice tend to notice odors. Okay? Oh my goodness. Anyway, well, I'm wrapping this one up. I'll talk to y'all in another video.